Big surprise. So, my sister got me this massive flat of strawberries. I am so excited, and then also I am so worried about what am I gonna do with all of these. But first, let's get them clean. After some googling and perusing, I did already wash and eat a bowl, so I will completely admit to that. But we're kind of picking out the top berries here. They packed them in with the much larger ones, and then a few of these smaller. That one has two legs. A few of these smaller ones on the bottom. The pack of strawberries came from one of those roadside fruit stands that has their own little lot behind that they pick them out and sell them for the day. So these were the second day ones, meaning they were picked the day before, and they're a little bit of a discount. So we got a massive thing of strawberries. But anyways, I like to use a little bit of baking soda when I'm washing them, just to help neutralize and get rid of any of the pesticides that may be on them, because strawberries can be a very dirty crop, so you want to get them real clean, wash the crap out of them, rinse them off as much as possible before I started to slice them up and process them. These ones I was actually going to put in the freezer. So my whole process for these is cutting off the stems as well as any of the parts that were a little bit smashed. Like I said, these are the second day strawberries, so they were picked the day before. They'd been sitting in the box, and they were a little bit on the drier side slash parts of them got smished, so I did end up having to cut off a lot, and it just makes me wish I could have made like strawberry syrup or something, but it's fine. So here comes the part where 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 I confess again that I'm not a baker, okay? But if there's a recipe, I can try to follow it, but at the same time I understand that sometimes I kind of get distracted when it comes to cooking and things don't quite come out the way it's supposed to. I have this crumble recipe that I was following. So I wrote down some notes, and you'll see me looking at it still here, but cornstarch, flour, white sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, some rolled oats, a little bit of salt. What else do we have? Baking powder, butter, and vanilla extract. So to start off the recipe, you need to kind of get your base down, which is your strawberries, right? So we'll get our measuring cups and spoons and everything like that, and kind of get that ready. I'm doing my best, but we got a nice big bowl here, and for the strawberries, I'm actually gonna only put half of them in the big bowl just to make it a little bit easier to mix, because there are so many of them, and I did leave quite a few of these ones whole or just halved and didn't completely cut them up, just because I wanted to be able to have like whole strawberries in this. And sometimes when you cook strawberries or you bake strawberries down, they'll disintegrate quite easily, just depending on the berry. But yeah, I think that's good. So give my hands a quick little rinse before we get started. And following my recipe, the recipe for the strawberry filling was, you put your strawberries. You're supposed to put about 2.5 tablespoons of this cornstarch. So I'm just kind of measuring out loosely the 2, and then kind of the half-ish that they're just using my tablespoon measure. I do understand baking is more of a science, but as a crumble, I feel like we have a little bit of flexibility here. What else do I need? I also need, I'm gonna use a spoon this time, and the smell. Oh my gosh, the smell of this, you guys, was so good. It smelled so good. And so, completely distracted by the smell. Oh, I gotta pull out a little leaf I found. Completely distracted by the smell, I just threw in the cinnamon that was in the recipe. Totally not paying attention and totally just taking a whiff of cinnamon, but the recipe didn't say to put the cinnamon in the crumble, but I still did it. So that happened. Anyways, you're also supposed to use some white sugar. For this, I only used 1/3 of a cup because these strawberries were quite sweet and I'm trying to not add too much extra sugar. And then some vanilla extract in here, and I'm going off of my notes of what I wrote down, but it was around here that I realized I don't think I'm supposed to put this with that or the cinnamon, and mistakes were made, but that's okay. We're just gonna accept it that mistakes were made and mix this up and hope stuff is okay, and don't judge me based on my reaction because I'm just going, it'll be fine. Trust the process. It'll be fine. I have to say also, guys, the car is still not fixed. Thus continues our saga, but we did go and pick up the rental car thanks to the support of everybody in the community. We got a rental car. Oh, but you need a little bit of water too for this, so just a splash to help dissolve everything. But we did go and get the rental car and got out for a bit, went and picked up the strawberries from my sister and saw her and the kids for just a minute, and then kind of just went around, went for a nice walk. We ended up actually going out for dinner tonight because it's been forever. But oh yeah, here we go. Let's try to put the strawberries in the container without spilling. Got a baking dish here. But we went to one of our favorite little burger joints out here that does amazing service and that does such a good job with the food. I got this turkey burger. It was so freaking good. Every time it's so good, but I am so stuffed I can barely breathe. It was that good. It's just it's one of our favorite little joints and they're so quick on their service, but everything's made to order. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Amazing. Speaking of recommending, I got what's it called? We'll say certified. I joined the Yelp Elite team. That's kind of cool, right? Yelp reviews. So I can write more Yelp reviews on stuff, and I usually, for when it comes to Yelp reviews, I like to give attaboys like this person was really good, or that person was really good, or this server, or whatnot. So if I take pictures, or I remember to take pictures, I really do my best to make sure I include names of people who did amazing jobs, because that doesn't happen. People usually write reviews to complain, and I think sometimes a little bit forward because I don't have much to give, but I can give that. All right, moving on. We're going to start on the crumble topping since our strawberries are all sugared and cornstarched up, basically seasoned up. We're going to try to open this stupid bag. I don't know if anybody else has been dealing with these bags, but the produce section or any of the like grocery stores in our area have moved on to this this interesting type of plastic bag. I think the point of it is that they are biodegradable. I think that's the whole story with it, but they are also, they feel weird. They feel so weird. You can probably tell based on just the way it flops around. It's kind of like it doesn't quite feel plasticky. It feels more soft, almost like it could dissolve in your hands if you're too rough with it. And they are so not my favorite. They break apart so easily when you're putting produce inside. Like, we can't even check out without them breaking. So I will have to get a special container for my rolled oats here. But yeah, deviating from the recipe only called for the recipe called for 3/4 cup rolled oats, 3/4 cup white flour, and 3/4 cup brown sugar. Now, I purposefully added more oats and reduced the amount of flour because I'm more of an oat person. And this is me completely deviating from the recipe again. Thankfully, it's just a crumble, and I don't think it's gonna mess with it too much, but what you can't hear in the background is Nick's asking me how it's going, and me just kind of chugging along and hoping that my choices with baking right now aren't going to bite me in the butt. But I mean, it's kind of hard to mess this up, right? Oh, we got our baking powder here, and the millions and zillions of spoons that we gotta use. I'm just gonna use the handle from this just to level that off, because baking powder, and then we need to put in some salt, and it just says like a pinch of salt, so I'm just doing a little bit ish. Yeah. I don't mind baking, but does anybody else feel like you make too many dishes? Like, yeah. Oh, so this is about the point where Mix starts asking me how it's going, and I can't answer him really because I've deviated so far from the original recipe that was written that I am now trying to add cinnamon to the crumble, because I realized that the cinnamon was supposed to go in the crumble part and not in the filling part. And I'm using this. There's 2 different cinnamons that I put in, and not the cinnamon that I used before. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna use this, and maybe it's okay. And I think it's around this point that Mix realized that I was completely going off the cuff with what I was doing with this crumble. So it's fine. I just kept telling him it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Everything's okay. Don't worry about it. But here, just trying to kind of break up the clumps of brown sugar in the bowl. I didn't really get a shot of this because it was late, and this was kind of a spur of the moment dessert. I want to say it was like probably close to midnight, if I'm being honest. But this was my spur of the moment. We're going to just make something with these strawberries because there's way too many, and I can't freeze them all, and I can't eat them all fresh. So we gotta bake them into something, and then that way we can have them for breakfast or something like that tomorrow morning too. Using some butter here. I think it said to melt it down. So we just microwaved it, and that's all good. And then also the vanilla, since I was like, I think I put the vanilla in the filling and not the extract, or not in the crumble. So I'm using this ground vanilla that I had, and just gonna throw some of that in there because I love vanilla, and I don't think I've ever had a situation where I'm like, that's way too much vanilla. So I have this ground vanilla powder that I keep adding to stuff. Just, I don't know. If it's too much, it's okay. If it's not enough, it's okay. It's a dessert. It'll be fine. It's okay. But my butter's done. Gonna grab that. And since it's melted, we'll we'll dump that in, just give the butter, or giving the vanilla a little mix in, and making sure all the bits of, or the clumps of my brown sugar are dissolved. If I didn't have music playing in the background, I'd probably let you guys listen to the conversation, but you know, you can imagine the back and forth of him being like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's okay." And he's like, "Do you know what you're doing?" "No, not really." Okay, so gonna go and mix this up, incorporate the butter with the rest of the crumble, and right now it's kind of like, it's sandy in texture, I want to say, like between the flour, sugar, and oats. It's very gritty, sandy. I always forget how dry it looks when I make this, but like a crumble type of thing. But yeah, gonna scrape off whatever's sticking to this spoon really quickly, and then I think that's about it. I think it's ready to put on top of it. Again, Mix is like questioning what I'm doing, and I'm like, just trust it. It's okay. Trust the chaos. And he's like, I don't trust your face right now. And I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. Just, it's fine. It's fine. Just let it go. It'll be okay. Yeah, it smells good. Like, I mean, it passed the sniff test. Right? Like, if your batter or whatever it is that you're making smells good or tastes good when it's raw, it'll probably smell good or taste good when it's cooked. Right? Or am I crazy? I might be a little crazy. That's okay. Putting away some of this stuff here real quick so we make some room. And when doing this, you just kind of dump it on top. I'll try to do it as clean as possible. See, look at that. That doesn't look too bad. Alright, so just gonna kind of carefully dump this on top because this tray is already packed full with strawberries, so yeah. It's, I'm trying to be careful. And it's okay. It smells really good though, like the strawberries plus cinnamon, that's such a good combination, I will say. If you get strawberries and cream, a little bit of cinnamon just elevates everything, and it's actually really good. Like the combination. I've been talking about wanting to try and figure out my mom's peach cobbler recipe that she used to do, and I know that she had like a crumble topping on top of it, but by the time that, you know, like we started to ask her about it, she couldn't, her brain wasn't working enough for her to remember, and she's like, I can't remember, I'm sorry. I said, that's okay. So that'll probably be in my science kitchens where I'm trying to figure it out again, how to make her cobbler, because that is one of those desserts that I wish I knew how to make, and that I wish I could make some days, because I just can't figure it out. So far, haven't found one yet. Found one's close, but not that one. But yeah, so I've got my little oven here. I think it's okay. I'm hoping it's okay. I'm having second thoughts, but it'll be fine. It's okay. Yeah. It looks nice though. Like, I showed it to Mix right there, and he's like, okay, it looks okay. And I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It smells good. It's fine. We're gonna put it in, and this you need to bake for quite a while, actually. Didn't realize how long I need to bake it for, but according to the recipe, it's at 350, and you're supposed to let it go for 30 to 40 minutes until it's like bubbling. And yeah, if it's bubbling, then you can tell that it's thickened enough and it's good. So taking it out, and we'll get a nice close-up of this for you guys to see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. It's bubbling in the corner there, see? Yeah, it's all thick. But that's the crumble, guys. I will say, as of the point of me coming to this video, we have had it, and we did get vanilla ice cream. I just forgot to take a video because I was just gonna eat it. But hopefully you guys are enjoying strawberry season as much as I am. It just started here and I can't help it, but you know, it's late at night and I'm on a diet, but who cares? Can of whipped cream? Cheers, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.